Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
Pick your mics up, boys. I reckon we've started.
We've started. Hey, did I get a fucking mic check on mine? Hang on, did I get a corn chip crunch check?
We gave you 6, 7, 8.
Oh, that go around. Here you go. Thumbs up.
Count me in, big boy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
G'day. Welcome to KOKO Kickoffs and Kick-Ons. If you've never seen this show before, it is a footy show like no other. It's bold predictions, it's bullish banter, it's bare asses, it's take no prisoner. Ball to the walls, punditry, and you're going to love it. Am I right, boys? Give me a KOKO.
KOKO.
Particularly on a week like this, folks, it's so much ruck and maul to chat. More ruck and maul than you can poke a ruck and maul at. For all you Six Nations sickos, saddle up right now, because everything you ever needed to know about the second week of sweet-ass matches will take place on these sweat-stained, putrid couches for the next hour. You superb rugby sycophants, just bubbling away there with heightened anticipation for the first round of ruggers. The good news for you is we are going to be fine-tooth combing it. Each and every Aussie side with insider knowledge that, well, there's information about the players that they don't even know themselves. We've gone in, we've taken saliva samples, and we are, based on the DNA analysis, we can tell you who's going to win for the entire season. That was great, Drew, that you lined that up.
Yes, you're welcome.
All I'm saying is if you are a person that loves doing things full swing, we are a team full of swingers for you, and we are ready to go. Give me one more KOKO, gents.
KOKO.
Just a reminder of the new format. Did you think it worked last week, guys?
Yep, I consumed both
You did?
episodes. Fantastic.
Can you remind the people at home, Drew, what the new format is, how it works?
So there's going to be a release as per,
Yep.
6 p.m. Australian Eastern, on a Tuesday afternoon, early evening. I'm not sure where that is for the NHLs, but then also Friday morning, Australian Eastern, there's a second episode, a second offering.
Absolutely.
Friday morning.
Double offering.
I thought it was the old school club rugby training setup, Tuesday, Thursday nights.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
It's Friday morning.
We're given the Friday
It would
morning
align
a-
much nicer with the rugby podcast, wouldn't it?
No, because they'd be out training.
Fair. I tell you what I did notice a lot of last week, Prof, and in the last 7 days of review, a little bit of crystal ball work from the Goit down there on the end.
Yeah.
Mate. And also, hang on, not alone, big fella.
He was just throwing him.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit of fluff to
I
talk
called
himself
it.
up.
I called it. England to beat France.
You did.
I did.
That was so.
I did.
Did you get all
Amazing.
three on the weekend?
No, you picked Scotland.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. Did I pick
did, mate.
Scotland?
You
picked Scotland, didn't you?
Well,
You
I'm
picked
back
them to win.
I said to
In
win the
to
Six
Mac
Nations.
Hanson's face.
To win the Six Nations.
You did
You
say
said
that.
it to Mac's face.
I did say whoever wins that game will probably win the Six Nations.
Right, so you're wrong.
No, what I'm saying is Ireland will now go on to win it,
So it means you're wrong.
which means I lose our bet.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean I'm wrong.
It
I
means
just
you're wrong.
lose.
Do you think that means he's wrong, Drew?
Oh, I just think he has a little bit of trouble accepting accountability.
Could be the Irish stew too. Continue,
Gents,
Prof.
Intros. We love a little intro just at the start. Obviously, today was Super Bowl Monday, as it's referred to in the States. They like to call it Super Bowl Monday. We are going to... There was a big performance halftime. Kendrick Lamar. Did we all see Kendrick?
Yeah.
Was he any good?
Mate, I was staring at rain coming sideways on the drive up, so I didn't get to see it.
I mean, I watched it. It's not really my jam, Kendrick. Like,
Not feeling it?
oh, it's just not my... I'd rather something I could sing along to.
How was Samuel? Apparently he was
He was
involved.
good. It was some like a lot of undertones. Like obviously Kendrick's in a bit of a beef with Drake. There's a couple of little things like that. Serena Williams doing a little crip dance or walk or something.
Yeah, right.
Ex partner of Drake.
Oh.
And it was on.
Oh, really?
It was during the song where he's dissing Drake. You know, there's a couple of little undertones there. So I like that side
Drake
of it.
dated Serena.
Yeah, back in 2011.
He doesn't miss a trick,
Yeah.
does he?
I didn't know that.
So
That's fantastic.
there was a couple of little things there, like some undertones that
Yeah.
kind of made it a little more spicy. But for me, I'd like to be able to sing along to a couple of bangers.
You were
Yeah,
pretty
I mean-
close to dating a tennis player back in the day too, weren't you?
Who was that?
Nah.
Docky. Yelena?
Moving on.
It wasn't Yelena.
Wasn't it Yelena?
Keep guessing.
I'll get it by the end of the show. Pat Rafter? All right, so the basically the theme today is half-time acts that have been at the Super
Ooh.
Bowl. You guys are going to be introduced as though. So Starting with our very own Shakira. This is you, Drew.
Yeah, your hips don't lie.
His hips don't lie. His breasts are small and humble, so you don't confuse them with mountains. And he thinks tax returns are for cowards. So, well done, Shakira. Janet Jackson, that's Matt Giddo.
Okay.
Loves dressing up.
Yep.
Loves getting his nipples out. He's the second most famous person in his family. Hello, buddy. And we've all met his brother, and his brother's a complete weirdo. So, hello, Remy.
Yeah.
Remy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Janet Jackson. Finally,
Take that.
Swoop, you are the weekend. Because Lord knows you won't ever fucking work one.
I'll take that.
There you go. Well done, gents.
What are you?
Oh, I forgot again. I keep forgetting. I'm Bruno Mars.
No, you're like...
Because you guys hate me.
No, you'd be like Fergie
Bruno's
doing the national anthem.
Isn't that one of the great performances of our time? All right, gents, let's get into this show proper. We are trying a new segment today. I'm just trying to make the top a little bit punchier when we tell our weekend stories. Tommy's actually devised this. One thing Tommy got right in the last 7 days. Lord knows he fucked everything else up.
Yeah, do you want to come on and make an apology?
Tommy, do you want to come?
Probably need to start with a couple of apologies.
Yeah, okay, let's start with Tommy apologising on a couple of things. This is great. Tom, just come. Do you want to just perch between Drew and Swoop there real quick? Get us going here. There's a whole community of people you need to apologise to.
The only one I'm going to take credit for, not credit, well, I'll take responsibility for, is the Stadio Olimpico Grande, I said, was the one in Turin, and the game was actually played at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. So that's my bad. I'll own that one. Bienvenute, grazie, prego.
Is there...
All right, arrivederci, mate.
Is there not a group of folk that live up near... That's on me. No. So Tom also bought the Republic of Ireland beanie, and he encouraged me to call the team the Republic of Ireland. But
I worked on everything last
but
week.
it is Ireland. The national team that represents the Emerald Isle is Ireland. It's both.
Yeah,
North.
we all knew that.
Okay. Cool.
You didn't.
No, I didn't. So I'd like to apologise to everybody up there. If I knew how to say sorry in Gaelic, I would.
Takes a big man to apologise. Good on you, Prof.
Thank you.
Well done.
mate. We
And
didn't
good
want-
on you, Tommy.
Let's move on. So this brand new segment, roll the sting in now. That's right, folks. It's called KOKO's Weekend Wake Up Call. What I want you to do is I want to tell you to tell me over the weekend a lesson you learned personally and a lesson you learned in the world of rugby. Who would like to go first? I'm looking at you, Gits.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, sorry, mate.
A lesson that I learnt. So on Friday there was a Win the Day horse race. Win the Day is obviously my sister's charity that she started up. So supporting that at Canberra races. Got caught up in the whole story behind it, who you're supporting, all the good stories, that follow with the charity. And I bet on the horse. The horse was a donkey. Like, it was horrible. Never a chance. So I think the lesson is to think with your head and not your heart. Would be one that I learned.
That's a good lesson.
That is a good lesson.
And then the rugby lesson, I was saying this, that I think the Six Nations, maybe for one weekend, just move it somewhere dry.
Oh, conditions.
Yeah, I just thought on the weekend, it didn't allow the best of the players. There's a lot of drop ball in every game that I saw, and obviously conditions weren't great in the UK, so maybe just move it away for a couple of weeks.
Where would you move it?
Well, we spoke about Canberra not getting any Rugby World Cup games, so
So you want the Six Nations?
Six Nations in Canberra would be lovely,
Wouldn't that
and
be
we'd
good?
sell it out.
Yeah.
If not Canberra, maybe Qatar or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Swoop.
What did you learn,
Mate,
sir?
funny you asked, Prof. A couple of life lessons. Actually, plenty of life lessons over the last couple of months. But the one on the weekend was... Actually, it was something that I observed, and if I did vape... those little digital sticks that people are running around
You
with
don't do
these
that,
days.
do you?
I don't do that, mate.
Yeah.
Don't take them to the UFC because a couple of blokes I know had it confiscated. So you had to go through security, and they were confiscating all vapes from all patrons, from all
Is that
visitors,
right?
from all guests. So basically, there was a couple of those wheelie bin
Yeah.
garbage
Filled with
bags
vapes.
filled with vapes.
Goodness me.
Jeez, I tell you what, if you just ran that through a bit of a desanitization process,
I
you
was
make a
just
bit of
thinking
coin
that.
on the resale.
All the security would go nuts once the event's over.
Unbelievable. But anyway, that's unfortunate for blokes who vape.
So lesson is don't vape at the UFC.
Don't take your vape to the UFC.
Good lesson. This is good.
That's a good
So
lesson. What
your
about rugby
lesson's
one?
not to give up vaping. It's just don't vape. at the
Yeah,
UFC.
no, mate, vape. Yeah, vape wherever you want to vape, just
Yeah.
not at the UFC.
It's a life lesson. And
You're
your
better pack of darts is fine. My rugby lesson is don't run into your own teammate.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Doing-
important.
doing
couple
the-
of Scottish blokes.
Oof, bit of haggis.
Yeah.
The Finn Russell Darcy Graham clash.
Yeah.
That was ugly.
Have
And there's just nothing you can do about that because there was the Irish attacking player in the middle, change of direction, a little bit of deception, and both players trying to do their best to prevent a try, like prevent points, and just what I didn't like it was Finn's head right onto the jaw of Darcy. It was just like there's.
Have any of you had that in a game? Have you had a giant head clash while you've
Yeah.
been playing?
Yeah, we've probably all had head
Yeah.
clashes.
I've hit
that way,
teammates.
though,
I
I
mean,
don't
that
know.
we
I don't know,
and you
have
ended
you?
No.
off the.
I can't remember.
But it's always in those it's always in those covering
Yeah, the chaos
covering tackle
moments, yeah,
circumstances where you're kind of coming across and there's another
And
like
the
the fullback's
scramble,
coming in.
yeah.
You just kind of know that there's going to be a clash. You just kind of
I
anyway.
always like the turnstile. Just let them have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Over track.
Yeah.
Oops,
Yeah. Oh,
tag back on the mark. sir.
And Biff.
Mine probably go one and the same, life and rugby.
Love it.
he
It
is
would be don't put all of your podcast budget into a slogan like Schmidt it in and load up on merchandise and then have him leave. Now we've got all this
Yeah.
merchandise without a head coach.
How many units do we have to shift of?
I think we
Schmidt
still
it in?
probably got about 10,000 shirts.
Oh,
I reckon though.
what do you reckon?
Well, maybe we can make it work. You know, like just really whore him out for the next.
Oh,
What is
yeah.
it? 8 months or?
Yeah, what have we got until the rugby championship?
I think.
October, yeah.
We lose him.
We could emboss a bit of watch drawing on those leftover caps.
Yeah, we could maybe just put like a little plane departing or something on the.
So do we?
In the
We'll need to get a
background.
new catchphrase, will we? We've got 8 months to come up with a new catchphrase.
Well, he's not leaving altogether, is he? Like, isn't he just stepping down from
Well, I
the head
think
coach role?
he's
or what is
offered
it?
that. I think it's yet to be determined.
So we could still hang on to him, and they could also like collector's item.
Oh, that's a
Moving
good
on,
shout.
you know, you follow.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Or we just move on to the next one and have like
check
you
yourself.
know the band
Ooh.
Check Yourself or the band Kiss, but have Les Kiss with his tongue out.
All right, this is a good shout. So first of all, for
Shout.
our rugby community, this is a bit of a what's drawing.
Mm-hmm.
What's drewing?
What is the Schmidt story? He's
Yeah, so the
decided to
Schmidt
go?
story, effectively, he's put his family first, which you cannot absolutely not begrudge anyone for doing that. It was never about him trying to run up the price. It was never about getting more, I guess, conducive terms that were going to allow him to, for him to sign on. It was literally just about him having to put his family first. It's been well spoken about, well documented that his son has some health issues that he wants to be more present for, and to commit for another 2 years and being away and the travel that's I guess aligned with being the head coach of the Wallabies was just too much. That was also something that he flagged when he signed as well. So this was always a possibility, or maybe even a probability. Who knows? But so now he's extended. I did think that the media release was a little bit misleading. There was two pieces of information in that. One, that he's extended for the Rugby Championship. Two, that they were going to start looking for a new head coach. That's probably the bigger news. When you go for a headline, like you go with the big news, not in the fine print. But anyway, so Joe's staying for the Rugby Championship whilst they start the search for the next head coach.
What does he need to do in the next between now and October for us to all go job done, Schmitty, or has he already done the job?
No, the job's certainly not done. Like he signed to do first and foremost the Lions, and then now the Rugby Championship. We just need to see the team progressing further, and what we'd all love and hope for is a successful Lions series. If he gets that, job done. But I think the other thing is a seamless transition into whoever the next head coach is, and I think we're not in a bad position now just because he's leaving, but we could be if they make the wrong decision.
Do you mind if I just come in here?
Sure.
Bit of crystal ball over here.
Mm.
Next Wallabies coach. Talk to
Well,
me.
I said checker. last week, only because he signed a 1-year deal with Leicester. And I know he's passionate about coaching internationally again. And the Wallabies would be, I think, a nice fit.
The media have kind of shortlisted 4, and when there's smoke, there's fire. They're usually pretty close to the
Who'd they
mark.
say?
They've shortlisted 4, one being the Aussie coaches, Dan McKellar and Stephen Larkham, and then
Yep.
2 overseas, Rowan O'Gara and Leon McDonald.
Oh, well, maybe Czech's not even an option.
No,
Well-
I think Les Kiss is definitely one of them as well.
Yes, make that 5. Shortlisted 5.
I think, look, I think for me, Les Kiss is the guy. And I say that because I think there'd be less disruption from what Joe Schmidt has built, and there'll be more continuity going from Schmidt to Les Kiss. I think like he's worked with him in Ireland. I think he would have learnt a lot of, I guess what he knows in the head coaching position from Joe Schmidt. I think he'd lean on him for advice. And whereas I think if like a McKellar or a Stephen Larkham or anyone else comes in, I think there'd just be too much change. And then also then the opportunity for us to go back on all the good work that Joe Schmidt has done. Because I think if you change too much when a head coach comes in, then you've got to then rebuild and start again. And I think off the back of what Joe's done, and then we've got 2 years before the World Cup. I don't know, I just think a little bit more continuity, and I think we'd get that more with Les Kiss.
I think also the important point you made was he would lean on...
It's an emotional subject, I get it.
No, but the important thing that you mentioned was that Les Kiss would lean on Joe Schmidt.
Yeah.
So he'd still be involved there. I'm not sure, Dan or Bernie or even Ronan O'Gara or McDonald, they would come over and bring their own team, you'd imagine.
Yeah.
So wouldn't lean on Joe as much. I know the current players love Joe Schmidt. So to keep them happy and to keep them committed to Australian rugby, I think it's important that we can still find a role where we work with Joe and his family situation, because that's first and foremost. But then secondly, find an avenue or an area where he can still add value and still help the players that he's built this trust and this bond over the last 12 months.
Because if you're going to have Joe Schmidt in an advisory role, you've got to have someone in that head coaching role that will take heed to the advice that he's giving, right? Or work in conjunction with, rather than, like we've seen it so often, not just within Australian rugby, but everywhere, that, if there's a director of rugby or a high performance or whatever and a head coach, but both think they're the boss, and it just doesn't work. So I think with Kiss, he'd work really well with Schmidt.
I think with the players as well, you don't have to reprove yourself. When a new coach comes in, they bring in new structures, new game plans. They don't know too much about the players, but you've got to reprove yourself to that coach, especially if you've not been coached at a club level from this player as well. So having Joe there where they've already done that, they've earned his trust. He knows those players. He probably knows his 15 or even the 22 or that group of 30 that he wants for the World Cup. Not that he wants, but that he would have picked in that 30.
So if you're in the selection panel, they say, we're asking the KOKO team. They're deciding who the next Wallaby coach is. Gits, who would you pick?
Oh, I mean, I didn't even think about Kissy. I think he's great. But the fact that he would lean potentially on Joe, then that weighs quite heavily. I think dependent on how those coaches are. If all coaches, the ones that Swoop put up, if every one of those was happy to have Joe there and would lean on him and use him within the group, I personally would like to see Stephen Larkham head coach.
Stephen Larkham. Okay, good. You? Biv? This is it.
Yeah,
you get
I
to
said
choose.
Les Kiss.
Les Kiss, you're 100% Les Kiss. You?
Yeah, I'd love Kissy, but I
Kissy?
don't know. I think there'd be scope for Leon McDonald, just with all the reports from guys who have worked under him. I love what he's done
Where's
with
he
the Blues
now?
over the last
Is
couple
he with
of
the
years.
Blues now?
Yeah, and he stepped aside from the All Blacks with Scott Robertson at the helm there in
They
old
just
fashion.
didn't see eye to
They
eye.
didn't see eye to eye, so clearly he's got an idea of how he wants his team to perform. I'd love to have that influence over here on the Wallabies. So, I mean, and also having that kind of Kiwi mentality and being able to tap into that, may help us against those blokes down the long run. But, yeah, I mean, Kissy would be awesome. But he'd be able to finish his Super Rugby campaign,
Mate,
right?
it's a centralised model now.
Oh,
Well, isn't it?
yeah.
You could do both at once.
Well, no, but like if it isn't everyone on a
down.
line now?
Yeah,
so if
you'd
it's
finish
for the
off
betterment
on
of
them.
Rugby Australia, He'll go jump straight into it. Beauty.
All right, let's see. Let's fast
I mean, I don't know about like whether he can just cut his
Doesn't
contract
seem
short.
like the type of bloke to cut things in half, though. You know.
No,
like
but I mean, if
fit-
it, yeah,
but if you had the full
yeah.
support from everyone potentially.
But also, if it's now all aligned, then his boss telling him, no, now you're coaching the Wallabies. Like, you do what your boss says, don't you?
You don't.
No, I don't. But then I don't have a job.
Self-employed, mate. You're killing it. There you go. All right, in October, we can revisit this.
Yeah.
Who was right?
Yep.
I like this.
But it was also who was right on Swoop's mail. They could bring in another coach, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we're just picking from the candidates that
The 4
Adam,
That
or
Swoop
5.
had read.
I
Or
said
6.
the short list that got longer.
Yeah. Righto. Hey, it is time now for the Rugby Roundup segment.
Yes.
Everybody's favourite Six Nations summations. Gents, throw your beanies on. You'll never guess what Tom's popped out and bought.
Oh.
The Republic of.
No, just a regular island beanie. Tommy, well done.
What have I got?
Well, yours is also a soccer beanie, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, someone
So's
pointed
mine.
that out.
Mine's FIFA Women's World Cup.
Yes, it's
Yours
pretty,
looks like a Swannies.
pretty
cap.
clear that Tommy found the cheapest beanies at the soccer shop or the football shop. Yours will offend someone because it's actually a soccer beanie, a football beanie. I've just offended someone. Yours, what were you saying? Yours
Mine's
is?
a FIFA Women's.
Terrific. So we've offended someone there, and
French. Surely someone gets offended at that.
always,
Yeah.
every time. Hey, gents, wow, what a weekend of Six Nations rugby, although, Goit, you think it was just a bit wet. The good news for you is that you are leading off with our first fine-tooth comb analysis. We are talking Italy defeating Wales 22-15 at Stadio Olimpico in Rome. Thank you, Tommy.
You like me going first, don't you? I like to just,
I think yours
they've
was
got
the
to
first
say
game
and
chronologically,
It was
wasn't
the first game chronologically.
Oh, that's why we're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just, like, how was the weekend?
Yeah,
It goes
yeah.
to gets, and I got to think about how my weekend was.
I-
Whereas you blokes have time, you know?
For me,
You had 3 hours.
No, I didn't. I told you,
yeah.
I was concentrating.
Yeah, that's right.
because of the rain.
Rain, sidewards, trucks.
A little scared.
I was a little scared.
He doesn't
yeah.
like driving in Sydney either.
No, I get a little sweaty palms. Big city.
I'm surprised you actually drive in general.
Yeah, we'll have to have a word to Ollie or Tommy about getting me that Uber again. That was good fun.
Rugby roundup.
Rugby roundup.
Yep,
So,
rugby roundup. So, yes,
there's a couple.
Italy, Wales.
Yes. Do you want me to give you a couple of sexy stats, or would you like to?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, here we go. 54 to 46% possession to Wales.
Mm-hmm.
They had more possession. They had 91% in the last 10 minutes, but couldn't
Yep.
get it done. 9-1 contested turnovers won by Italy. That's a good one. 145 to 91 tackles made by Italy.
Yeah.
So they.
Well, possession,
Possession,
tackles, kind of.
I'm just saying they did good tackling.
Yeah. They did tackle well.
And also 2-1 tries to Wales, even though they were defeated. Just give me a little. Go away, Drew. I'm sick of it. All right, what have you got on the game there, Goy?
I think
surface
similar
level
to
stats, aren't
last week with Italy, they just build points. They're happy to take their 3 points, build the score, let it go that way. I thought this game was one-way traffic for a lot of it, even though Wales had a lot of possession. They just weren't doing enough with it. I thought the Italians' defence you touched upon, they're always going to front up, especially at home. They're courageous. They'll defend all day, similar to the Argentinians when you play over there. Well, when you play them whenever, but I think at home they find another gear. The Italians exactly the same. It wasn't really until probably the 72nd mark when they had a penalty try, the maul, and that could have been the second. No, that was their second try with maybe 3 minutes to go, and the second yellow card came out that the game got interesting. But again, their attack seemed very limited, and the Italians were happy to defend. They got the turnover, game over that way. But I think the Welsh will always front up. Like, you can't question their character and how much they're trying, and how much they're putting into the game. But I just feel like they're under strength, they're undermanned, this Six Nations, so it's going to be a tough one for them.
Yeah.
So 2013, last Lions tour Australia, 10 out of the starting 15 were Welshmen. 2021, the Welsh won the title. So how have they gone from that to wooden spoon last year to losing 2 years in a row to Italy.
I mean, I think it's
They've lost a lot of seniority as well.
seniority
and big
on the field,
stars.
but I think a lot of the stuff off the field, from all reports in Wales, is going a little pear-shaped. And as we know, things aren't good at the top. It always filters down. There's issues around the sort of the franchise, the region level, like the Ospreys and the Scarlets, like at that level, the Blues and that sort of stuff. So I think I guess the disharmony off the field is probably starting to, creep its way in on the field. There's chat around Gatland. There's probably, there's players that are going away and not playing in Wales. There's like speaks to the depth. Like there's just much like where we were. Remember when we were on tour last year? We were Wales before Joe Schmidt came in. So there's not any silver bullet for Wales. They've just got to, and which they will do. They'll stay in it. They'll stay in the fight. But at the moment, there's not one easy fix for them.
Does Gatland survive, Swoop? Does he?
Nah.
Well, you've got to ask who do you bring in and what difference can they make as well? So
Mike
it's not
Phillips.
just as simple. Well, yeah, that'd be a huge one. The ladies would love that. Mr. Worldwide, but he.
They'd be a well-bonded group.
Yeah, they will. They'll have liquid lunches, but I just think they're undermanned at the moment. I mean, I don't know, Swoop. What do you?
Yeah, I just think change is as good as a holiday. They need something fresh.
Yeah.
A new coach with a new vision, new set of eyes.
Just
Just
a
a
new
new
nugget, maybe.
new
Martin
approach.
Williams, he
Just
was
something.
Marty and
something
Johnny
a little bit
Yap.
different. I think they might have to go something foreign because there's, like Drew said, there's so many issues within the ranks, and I don't know. I just think that
You like a foreign coach, don't you? Leon
look,
McDonald.
I reckon
Yeah,
if
it's
they were
like
to get
the-
rid of Gatland, potentially if you bring in a Marty Williams nugget, who I think he's the manager. I saw him on the
right.
end of season tour. But that's someone that may find another level out of the players because they respect how much that he gave to the jersey beforehand. That's a short-term fix. Players aren't going to play for him and get up because it's Martin Williams for forever.
Yeah.
But potentially, if you are to get rid of Gatland, maybe something like that on the short term.
Well, Warburton's pretty. He's got a fair bit to say. Like bring maybe Sam Warburton in, maybe the King, Jamie Roberts.
He's on the board.
Have a team.
Big King.
Have a team of former players come in, and they do it well with the prison rugby here in Australia. Get all the old players in.
Surely there's someone from that 2021. Am I saying that right? 2021? How do you say it?
Yeah.
Either or.
Surely there's blokes that are floating around that have since retired that can come in and.
Yeah, we've just named a few.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Surely there is.
Yes.
Yeah. Surely. Hey, the Azzurri, the Italians. We're not wearing their beanie because we thought we'd pick the top 4 countries. Can they actually sneak into the top 4?
no, we've got a
Well,
couple
they-
of the production team around the Italian beanies, don't we?
Yeah, well, Tommy's
Tommy's
he's
all
Italy. Although, I mean, he thought he was Portugal. He doesn't have a clue. So, can they make it into the top 4?
Well, I said last week that I think they're going to upset one other team. I said they're obviously going to beat. I thought they'd beat Wales easier than they did. I think discipline at the back end probably cost them that margin, but I think they will roll one of these big teams.
Yeah.
They're a hard team to play against. Even Scotland got out to such a big lead, and they just hang in there. They get the turnovers, 3 points. The way they play, I don't know who they'll beat, but I think they'll beat one of them.
And have we got anything else on Italy or Wales before I move on? Anybody want to make any grand statements? Any bold predictions?
No.
I did say at the top of the show we do bold predictions.
Yeah, we did. Marty Williams, if Gatland
Bold.
goes, that's pretty bold.
Bold.
For
Obviously,
you, Marty.
they both have a week off next week. What would they be doing? Just hanging out?
I think they all do.
I think they all do.
They
They
all
go
do,
2
yeah.
on, 1 off.
It's a fallow week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, what would they? Yeah.
I think they go back and play club footy, Prof.
I don't
No,
know.
they
So
wouldn't,
don't-
surely. You get the revs,
Yeah.
you do a bit of bonding.
Yeah, that's what they need, a good lock-in.
Hope so. England defeated France 26-25.
Yeah, it's a big one. What a
England-
final 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3 tries in the final 10. England score, France score, England score again. Look, whilst England, I thought it was a really gritty win, and maybe it could be something like the catalyst to something bigger for England, just the way they dug in and closed out the game. We saw it last year on the tour, and it looked like they had it all sewn up against our guys, the Wallabies, but then we came back and scored that try, Jorgensen in the corner. Weren't able to sort of finish games, but then they found a way against France, who are arguably one of the top 3 in the world, to get to find a way to win that game. So that could maybe parachute them into into something much bigger. But I still think watching the game, most of the attack was all from the French. Like there were probably 4 tries, like open try lines that went begging. There was one from Dupont early. There was BRE. There was Malvaca, and I think Damien Pinot also. Like all dropped the ball cold with an open try line. So could have been very different. That being said, though, good scramble defence puts pressure on them. They maybe that sort of adds to the reasons as to why they couldn't finish. But I just thought they weren't as polished as we've probably come to know the French. But there was that there and presented an opportunity for the English, and they made sure they took it. So I thought it was just a gutsy performance from the English.
What's your thoughts on Freeman? New winger that's come in. He's good in the air.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I thought, there's a couple of times defensively where he sort of bit in. I mean, that Dupont mistried at the start, bit in, was two on the second last attacker.
Yep.
So there's some small little things, but there's a lot more upside to his game than just identifying those. But those are things that you're just going to make, and being quite new to that environment, you're going to make a few of those errors. But I think there's a lot more upside to his game.
Did you prefer Finn Smith at 10 rather than Marcus Smith? Is Marcus Smith better at the 15? Swoop?
No, I'd like. Yeah, I don't know. And it's probably not a topic of conversation because they won, right? But I was telling to Drew when we were kind of catching a couple of highlights of the game. Marcus Smith, they're a different team when Marcus Smith's at 10. He's got his hands on the ball regularly, And what I didn't
They're
notice,
a better team, you think, with him at 10?
I think so, particularly off that transition, in the transitions.
Yep.
From D to attack, he just seems to. He just operates really well in space and can identify where the opportunity is or where the ball needs to go. But in saying that, I thought the other Smith did a good job at 10. But it's hard.
I just think it speaks to keep your 10 at 10 for the whole game. Finn Smith was there, and he was able to close out a game.
Yeah.
I do think that when Marcus Smith there is, they're probably a little more potent in attack. But does that mean there's a little bit more risk to it? Maybe. But yeah, I just think. What we were talking about last week after the first round was if Marcus Smith was there, because we were obviously recording before the teams were named, if Marcus Smith is at 10, keep him at 10. But they shifted him to fullback when Finn Smith started and played out the game at 10, and he was able to close out the game. So I just think unless your 10's having a shocker or they're injured, you keep them out there if they're going well. Like you let them steer it around.
And the one thing that you haven't mentioned is their inability to close out a game. Right, you've been saying that for a few weeks in a row.
They
but
found
you'd like
that
to
last
say,
20 minutes.
They found it.
Yeah.
And I think what we spoke about last week was that whether it was confusion or trying to overplay
Leadership,
it seems like they were pretty clear in that last 10 minutes and they just had that attacking mindset and they were just playing to win. And they looked all on board. There was like real clarity and synergy. And obviously that they were able to get the Chockies in the end. So good
Big
on
relief
good
for
on
Borthwick, I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was 7 in a row.
That's a big one for them. And the scenes too. When they won in that last minute, tweaking them like 80,000, that's a huge boost. And the momentum, like that kind of momentum for that mob is big over there. I know they get the week off, but
it's just a happy camp,
Yeah.
After you win, makes a big difference.
Huge.
What do you reckon they'd be doing, Prof?
Knowing the Poms,
Yeah.
they'd probably go to a football game, a soccer game.
Yeah.
They'd go watch Tottenham.
Yeah.
It's Borthwick. Does that save him?
That's going to load up the comment section.
Oh, I know. Sorry for saying Tottenham.
No, it's good.
Arsenal,
No.
Liverpool, whoever you
Chelsea.
want. Chelsea.
Yeah.
Does this save Steve Borthwick? We've said at the start, last week, that you named 4 international coaches. That
I didn't.
we named 4 international.
No, I named 4 countries.
4 countries. One of them being England.
Yeah.
Is this going to give him a couple extra matches?
Look, I
Horses?
think all of them will be judged on the Six Nations in its entirety. I don't think we're going to see anyone get the axe mid Six Nations. I think there'll probably be a review for maybe a couple, if not all, of the coaches afterwards to see how they've done. Again, this was a very impressive win from the English, but they've now got to back it up for the remainder of the tournament. So, I mean, to say if it's going to save him, look, it's definitely better than the opposite outcome. But,
you bang on.
But what was it? 7 in a row before that?
Steve,
7 and close losses.
So what's the bold statement for Swoop for this one? Or Drew, sorry. Drew was reviewing that.
I don't
What's
think we
your-
needed to make a bold.
Nah, but I
You
just
did
at the top.
promise bold
I said bold statements.
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah, he promised them, so he can fucking give them.
Nobody
Okay,
promised
I'll-
them on your behalf.
Yeah.
You're good at a bold statement.
Yeah,
love
and
it.
you. This
Yeah, but
was
then
your
I
game.
feel like I'm just going to like put my foot in it. Somehow.
Great. That's
You're
good.
good at doing
More
bold.
clues.
England to win the whole thing.
2 bold statements, bro.
No,
No, England.
France
to,
will still win it.
You still think
Oh,
France will win
bold.
it?
Yeah.
That was bold.
Yeah, so bold. Especially with an English.
Actually, I'm
on.
going for England.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck it. France will win.
Okay, terrific. Very bold statement. And they've got the week off, along with, both teams. All right, Ireland. Sweep, you're up, mate. You ready?
Hit me.
Defeated Scotland 32-18. Obviously, you're a man that's going.
Clash
to
of the Titans.
Scotland.
Yeah, Ireland.
Celtic clash.
Yeah, they were too good.
Celtic clash.
Yeah.
Celtic
Not
clash.
the Boston
Yeah,
Cel- I'm having a shock at it.
You are.
Ireland
No,
too
you're not.
good.
This
Thank
is
you.
I mean,
pretty
no, you're not.
natural.
I mean, the whole team, 1 to 15, they were excellent. I think they're going to be hard to stop. Off seeing that performance in round 2 of the Six Nations, they'll go on to win it. But
Bold.
I would say that there'd be a lot of those players in both 15s on that field that will go into the British and Irish Lions team. But
Good tease. Can I just, while you're doing that, it's actually probably going to end up in the next episode. Each of you are going to pick a lock for the Lions. It's the person that should just start packing their bag.
Yeah, when you say a lock, you mean a sure.
Yeah, not a
thing.
lock.
Because he told me a lock, and I was like, "Well, we're all picking locks." But now I get it.
Yeah, now that you say it out loud. Yeah.
A certainty. A certainty.
Do you want to
Certainty.
change the name of the segment?
No.
'Cause we've got a okay.
Locked in lines.
It's going to be locked
I
in
like it.
lines.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
you're fine. Look, I mean, the scoreboard ended up blowing out in the end, but Ireland were dominant. Scotland had their chances. I think the difference was between winning a game was just the intensity and the urgency and the extremes or the extreme ends of the field. So with Ireland, they just had this real hunger to defend their own line. There was just such effort, urgency, and pride in their own line. They just didn't let Scotland get through. Even though Scotland did create a few opportunities, they just couldn't capitalise because of the Irish defence. And then obviously down the other end, they go to a new level. They have the same urgency they do defending their line as they do attacking the opposition's try line. And I think the difference is just the clarity, the set piece, the kind of the strike play. They were class. I mean, obviously the head clash between which we mentioned before between Darcy Graham and Finn Russell wasn't pretty. There was some yellow cards. I think Van der Merwe got sent.
Duhan.
That just disrupted the Scottish momentum. So, I mean, they were there. They were thereabouts.
Can I also just say, what I thought was something you just don't see very often, but I thought, you know what, good on them, is that Finn Russell went off with the HIA, passed his HIA, but then it was the Scottish team management that said, hang on, a couple of little things just aren't really adding up. He apparently had a lack of some memory of some of the plays that happened prior to the incident. So they made the call not to put him back on. And I just don't think you see that too often. They put the betterment of the player beforehand. I mean, at least it's not reported. I'm sure it does happen, so don't come at me. But I just thought, but I think in a Six Nations game, between that 20 and 30 minute mark, having Finn Russell being able to go back on because he passed his HIA, but duty of care, and they said no, we're gonna make you sit this one out. I just thought that was a pretty bold call.
That was a bold call. Yeah. How would you feel if you were the doctor though?
Well, you tell Townsend, you just say, no, they scrubbed him out. You wouldn't put your hand up.
No, right. You'd never admit.
I don't think you would,
No.
you? Would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Swoop, can I ask you something? I saw it online.
Sure.
They're saying that this has been probably the strongest period that the Scots team that they've had, this golden era that they're in at the moment, and they're yet to really capitalise on it. From the World Cup or Six Nations, they're saying if it doesn't happen this one, that potentially it may be gone. What do you think about that? Do you think they're wasting the talented players they got, or they're just not clicking, or what is it, do you think?
I don't know. I find it hard to answer that question because I don't really agree with that.
That's so you don't have to. Yeah. I'm saying I read
in terms of
something,
major
someone
events,
saying drop passes.
2023.
Well, the World Cup,
It was
they were big.
2023,
Well,
right?
Six Nations last year as
Six
well.
Nations
Six
last
Nations
year.
last year. I mean,
It's a golden period where they've got these good players.
the class. Well, I think they're only just starting to click. and I'm only going off watching them in the autumn series last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. They've got the capability to put
They had it all. They had,
Yeah.
they had all the confidence, and they had the game going in to beat Ireland. But like a game of football, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Like you get 2 blokes to get knocked out, you get a couple of yellow cards, and fucking shit changes.
Well, they've also had a fair bit of change in their midfield as well.
Yeah.
Tuipulotu out before the tournament.
Yeah.
So
And Jones out, and then
But maybe if Finn Russell comes back on, I know they decided not to send him on, but maybe in that 30 minutes he does find a way to win it for him because he is a match winner. So
we're dealing in maybes here, but
we are.
Yeah, well, that's why I just want
Yeah.
to throw it out there.
no, I understand what you're saying. They've got to come up with something soon, though. Like they've got to find a way to, because I think what was it until like the amount of times they've beaten England, they've been getting big one-off games, but not getting the trophies of the tournaments is basically what people are saying.
And
Yeah, so they've got the capabilities to play super well, but they're just not doing it consistently.
I think it's a dangerous path to hear that kind of frustration and feedback from the Scottish fans.
Well,
Because,
I
mate,
think
let's look back, not 20 years, 10 years. They were happy just to score points against the Wallabies, if we're using that as an example, right? And now they're putting on fucking multiple points against class
No,
teams.
The headlines are very different now than they were 10 years ago.
I don't know that it's
Expectations
the
are bigger.
fans either.
Yeah, but I think
it's the
that
Scottish
also
media.
speaks to the frustration, right? Is because they
British
know that
media.
they're capable now, so the expectations are different,
Yeah.
right? So like, they know that they're good enough to
It
match
was a
with anyone in
media
the world.
headline
Yeah.
I grabbed, not fans.
Fair.
Yeah.
But also, this is the Irish team they're playing against is hot, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a once in a generation.
Hot-ish.
Hot-ish.
Didn't have Mac.
No, it'd be hotter.
Actually,
with
yeah, we
Mac.
should probably apologise to Mac as well.
That wasn't
because-
our fault.
Do you think not making him get up and get that coat hanger might have been
He should have
enough?
been wearing pants to keep it warm.
He should have actually, yeah.
It's not
I
our
did
fault.
think as he turned for the coat hanger,
Did you see a little
Something
I
tweet?
heard
popped.
something.
Yeah.
Something popped.
Yeah, he's bottom.
I reckon you've also jinxed the Irish. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
Goit. Last week you were talking about how wonderful their set piece is.
Yeah.
They had a stinker on the weekend. So
Beautiful.
60% of their 10 lineouts.
But now they found a different way to win. So I'm evolving
You're-
their game.
I see,
They've
you're
got different
inspiring.
ways now. Inspiring, that's the word.
Yeah,
I'd
because
use.
the Scottish did dominate in a few areas.
Yeah.
They had more possession. They had more, just give me the sexy stats here, more carries, all of this stuff. Come on,
Yeah.
give it to me, mate. But the Irish just know how to get it done, as Tommy said to us pre-show, in the red zone.
Yeah, well, they're very clinical when they get opportunities.
Yeah.
Like Swoop touched upon. Defensively, they're well connected. But once they get down in the A zone, their opportunity to score, they just know what it takes. Everyone attacks in numbers. They're so well aligned and well drilled that they just know exactly where the ball's going to
They're
go and how they need
engaged,
to get
Guts.
points.
They're so engaged.
Engaged.
All right, well done, Ireland and Scotland. Next week they have they got the week off. So what would they be up to? Goit, what are you
We're
doing?
finished. The next segment.
Next segment. That was a great Six Nations summation. Now the quiz is back. People love the quiz. That's what we learned.
Who won last week?
Tommy, who won last week? Undetermined.
I saw a comment. They said we should have whiteboards. I agree because there's a little bit of like waiting for someone else to answer and then copying and
I do have 3
Positioning.
whiteboards, but I don't know where they are right now.
Mate, I left last week just thinking this bloke's a genius, undercover genius.
5 from 5 last week.
Maybe the winner. Just throwing
It'd be
it
more
out
of an
there.
upset to beat you.
The rolling champ, which has been me for a number of weeks now,
Answers first.
it has to answer first.
Yeah, like it.
So
sure.
provide a
Yeah.
bit of a Mario Kart concept. Give the battlers a chance to
Daytona.
catch up.
Daytona.
That same
Yeah.
The
thing.
way it catches up.
Let's do that. If that doesn't work, I'll get the whiteboards out. They are somewhere. All right, it's time now for the KOKO Quiz. Brought to you by insert fucking sponsor.
Milk crate.
Milk Crate. We're close to Milk Crates, mate. All right, you know how it works. 5 questions, each more intriguing than the next.
Ask me, Prof, and if you're going to ask me, yes, I do have a good feeling.
I do not need to ask. All right, this weekend, the Azzurri took down the embattled Welsh team in Rome. On the topic of Rome, it is known that cats are protected species by law in the Italian capital. If you kill one, you go to prison for 3 years. They
Wow.
are so loved.
And so they should.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you're
Some cats fucking piss me
you're a
off.
cat hater, an
No,
animal
they
hater.
just carry on.
Oh, I didn't know that about you. You hate animals.
No, just cats. They are so loved there, you can even leave them money in your will. What is the most money ever left to a Roman cat?
Ooh.
Go away.
A, 5 million euros. B, 10 million euros. C, 20 million euros. Or D, Swoop once gave a kitten 15 million euros in one night. Hey, carry over champ. Over to you. 5,
Chicken
10, 20
feed.
or kittens.
I don't know. What is it? 5, 10, or 20?
5, 10 or 20.
Fucking cutting it down the guts. Go on 10.
20.
5. I mean, what can a cat spend it on? Seriously. 5's enough.
Swoop, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
B.
It's always, they always do the middle one.
Something
And
going
also
on
he
here.
looks up.
What a, like,
The right
left
answer.
10 million to the cat. Then what happens? If you're the lawyer, you just say, that got you 10 million worth
Well, then
of
the
cat
cat
food.
goes and they speak to financial advisors and they
And
they'll open
Prof,
up like a
when
trust
you're
fund
going
for
through
their
the
kittens.
when you're going through the multiple choice answers, don't look up when you actually come across the real
Oh, you
answer.
know he's
Oh,
tell.
you reckon I got to
You
tell?
know he's
You've got to
tell.
tell.
Also, but which cat's ever going to contest a will? Just tell the cat you get $10
Yeah.
and then you pocket the rest.
Oh no,
and
they're
just
not,
pat the cat. The cat will be happy.
no,
Yeah.
not Italy. Everything's done by the book, mate. They don't they don't mess around. No,
Yeah.
it's
Well, by the sounds of it, you'd kill the cat.
I did,
Yeah, that was really bad,
yeah.
Prof.
Oh, there's going to be some comments this week. I wouldn't kill a cat. I'm just saying I don't think you should get 3 years for killing one.
But
Stay-
I've done 18 months.
Let's stay on track here, man. I'm feeling good.
Okay,
Momentum,
sorry,
let's go.
mate. As we all know, Antoine Dupont is considered the greatest rugby player on the planet right now. His name, when directly translated into French, means from the bridge. Did you guys know that?
yeah, pont.
With that being said, which of these famous bridges in Paris is adorned with tourist padlocks? A. Pont de Artes. B. Pont Neuf. C. Pont Alexandre III. Or D. Pont des Arrogants and Pretty Grumpy. Tommy. A. Pont des Artes. B. Pont Neuf. C. Pont Alexandre III.
Well, as a matter of fact, I've dropped a couple of padlocks on that thing myself. A. Artes.
I'm going to go the 9th bridge. B.
Oh, Nerf.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm going A. I've done the padlocks.
Have you?
Yep.
God,
Would you
yes, right.
believe-
Ding, ding, ding.
I haven't done the padlock. Maybe that's what I need to do to have a bit of luck in love.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to have this wedding by the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's all right. Slowly.
Okay.
We're now at 2%. We're at 0 last week. We're getting there.
I think we start with the padlocks.
Yep.
Question number 3. Ireland made very light work of the Scots on the weekend and now have a pretty lucky draw. For the remainder of the Six Nations, they got this week off. With the hope of claiming a Grand Slam. Luck has always been an ideology synonymous with the Irish. Which of these luck-based superstitions was not created in Ireland?
Was not.
created.
So the okay.
It's the one that wasn't.
So
A,
3 of them are, one of them isn't.
correct. A, touching wood. B, throwing salt over your shoulder. C, finding a four-leaf clover. Or D, that an itchy right palm means you'll be coming into an STI. A, B, C, or D. Touching wood, throwing salt over the shoulder, finding a four-leaf clover. Swoop.
I don't know. Touching wood seems like it's an obvious one, so I'm thinking that that's the one that's not. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. Wood.
Wood.
I think salt's probably. I think salt. I think
Salt.
it's probably something different country.
Yeah, I'm thinking salt could be American.
I was thinking Italian, but yeah.
It's French. A ding, ding, ding.
Oh, French.
We have squared it up.
Yeah.
2-2-1.
Touching wood.
Oh.
Sorry, mate.
Only human.
Question number 4. With Wales notching up their 14th loss in a row, it would be fair to say a happy Welsh rugby fan is certainly an endangered species. On the topic of endangered whales, which species of whale is the most critically endangered?
Ooh. Or the most.
A. North Atlantic right whale. B. The blue whale. C. The sei whale. Or D. Warren Gatlin. Tommy. It's a boot.
It's a nice question, the way you've done that. Wove it in there, Tom.
Yeah. Now,
Big fan of David Attenborough. And the young bloke's into all the little David Attenborough cut downs on YouTube at the moment. A. Atlantic.
I'm going to go, what is it, the sei whale?
Say, yep. See.
Yeah, I haven't really heard of that one much, so there can't be too many of them.
Great.
I feel like everyone's they're out for the blue whale.
It's the big one.
Yeah.
A ding, 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 swoop.
I mean, I'm
There's
not
plenty of
surprised.
blues,
He's a
bro.
genius.
Plenty of blues left.
Do
Is
you
there?
promise it at the end of
When was the last time
there's
you
too
saw
many.
one? Actually, I'd like to do that. Is that in Exmouth, where you swim with the blue whales in WA? Whale sharks.
Oh, yeah, you steer clear of those, beef.
That'd be great fun.
No, they're
Wow,
harmless.
sharks.
They're
They're,
fine.
they're huge. and
Anything
they're
with sharks in
nice.
their name can fuck off.
Nah, these ones beautiful.
I think a whale shark technically
You just can't be in
is
front
a
of them.
whale
Yeah.
rather than a shark.
If you're in front of them because their mouths. You know,
Oh, yeah.
The,
Well,
the
well,
bullfrog.
they're not going to bite you with their tail.
No, but they'll swallow you, you idiot. If
Yeah.
you're to the side, they're not going to turn.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
have a go
right.
at
They
you.
come right up and you go,
Are they
hello,
like the big ones?
They're
hello,
beautiful,
Joe. What's your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't really like sharks, fellas.
I think
Well, hang on a
technically
second.
it's
You're the
a
one
whale.
that went tiger shark
just
diving,
a name.
free cage.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it's a whale.
Yeah,
You
right.
like those ones?
Actually, it's,
No
I think
teeth.
it's because a whale and a shark, their dorsal, their back fin is different size. So, Tommy, look it up. Is it that way or that way? Vertical or horizontal?
Sharks are vertical.
Sharks are vertical.
the
Whales are
horizontal.
horizontal,
the orca whales
Here we go.
in San Diego. Theirs is like that.
yeah. Yeah, they're in captivity. They
Oh, yeah.
curl
They're
over.
very,
yeah.
very unhappy. I
Yeah,
know, it's
that's
sad.
Yeah. And you went there.
I didn't know. I wasn't supporting that. I was booing through the whole show.
Oh, good. Free Willy.
Yeah.
One of the whales was sad.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 5. Scotland may not have celebrated against Ireland, but recently on January 25th, as they do every year, they celebrated the birth of the most famous Scottish poet, Robert Burns. What is he colloquially known as? What's his nickname? Is it A, Bobby Burns, B, Rabby Burns, C, Bertie Burns, or D, Carpet Burns?
Okay, can you go through the first three again?
Bobby, Rabby, Bertie.
Bobby,
And he's
Rabby,
Robert.
Birdie, Bobby, Rabby, Birdie. I don't know. I feel like Rabs is coming to me. Rabs now.
B,
I'm going to go Bertie.
Rabs Warren.
Bertie.
I wanted Rabby as well. Is it Rabby?
It is Rabby.
Yeah, I had a feeling too.
Swoop
That
wins
was a
again.
fucking
See, I
Yes.
told you, they always go B.
There were a lot of bees.
There's a lot
No,
of Bs.
there was only 2 Bs.
There's a
But
lot of
no,
Bs.
So what
they're all
happened
bees. They're actually all
Oh,
bees.
no, you're right. There was 3 Bs.
What happened though? Swoop won.
Swoop won.
I came second,
You
and Drew
did.
was last.
Yeah.
Okay. Swoop, you're so good.
Sorry, I totally missed that.
You won,
Yep.
as you do, because you're a genius, undercover. I was second, really close on your heels.
Really close.
And there's a big gap. Drew was third.
Like a
I was in that shark's mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, no teeth, you dirty thing.
How many in a row is it, Swoop?
Well, 2. We're only episode 2.
Terrific. Couldn't count that. All right. Gentlemen, that is the first show of the week. I've run out of time. Yeah.
Yes.
So the next show for all you, as I said, superb rugby sycophants, there's going to be a lot of superb rugby coming out on Friday morning. Perfect timing for that first game that night, Valentine's Day. Get your sweet little something.
Oh, you kidding?
Curl up on the couch, pop on the KOKO, and we'll go through all the superb rugby. Also, there'll be a little bit of Six Nations chat in there as well. That's where we will be doing our locked-in lines, which is the people that we are picking to
We think
go.
it's certain to go.
Certain to go
Yeah.
with the lines. A reminder where you can find us, it is at Kickoffs and Kick-Ons everywhere. Our website is www.kickoffsandkickons.
Yep.
Oh, start again, Prof.
You reckon?
www.
no.
Kickoffsandkickons.com. You can find us everywhere there. And then lastly, if you have cash
Yeah.
and you own, say, a large company.
Yep.
I'm talking to Jeff Bezos. He watches this.
Yep.
And you
Twiggy.
want us, Twiggy, if you're watching
Yeah.
and you want your name and your number.
Come on, Twigs.
Yeah, and you give us some cash and then the show survives. Because, gents, we're going to have to come up with something else.
Yeah.
Because production costs, none of us are getting paid.
Yep.
I feel like Twiggy will do it.
Twiggy?
Yeah.
Twiggy.
Making rugby great
Oh,
again.
you know what, though? I heard Gina Reinhardt.
Gina?
Yeah. So come on, Twiggy.
That'll get you going.
We'll drive a
Get
bit of
involved,
price
'cause
tension.
otherwise
You're
Gina's going to
guilty.
take it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, who's that? Is that Gina?
Is it?
Hang on. I'm waiting to hear what Twiggy says. It was her.
Oh, we've got him. All right, all that's left to do. Cuckoo! Oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.